the automation, it's helping us to keep the database always up to date, or it can take a lot of time, and now with the implementation, it saves us a lot of time.
We are here into this new growth story with another special guest, and here it's a special guest that's coming from kind of a famous association. I'm going to talk about it in a few moments, but we have Mario Santos here today with us, who is coming from the Swiss Startup Association, who is leading on everything when it comes to the marketing department for that association. So welcome, Maria. Great to see you here.
Thank you, Lucas. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can talk about right now, and I thought it would be nice that we deep dive into the collaboration we had. And before we explain this in more detail, can you just briefly present yourself and what is it? What's your mission with Swiss Startup Association, of course, as it would be important to recall this.
Nice, yeah. I'm Maria Santos, the marketing manager at the Swiss Startup Association. I'm working with the Swiss Startup Association for the last 2 years. And then there, our aim, our goal is foster startups and helping them to improve the landscape for Swiss startups and support them with knowledge exchange, networking opportunities, also advocate for them in the political level. So yeah, that's the idea, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And indeed, like super present in Switzerland, helping a lot with the startup ecosystem, as also we've been in that ecosystem. So it's so nice to see all these initiatives that you put into place, by the way. So yeah, that's really cool, and also super happy that we at Peakora managed to help you out further in better, operating and thriving in your end by doing this CRM setup. So we'll dive into a second, of course. I just wanted to come back at the beginning and when we started being in touch a few months ago. So that was also between the two of us, but also between Regula, who's leading the SSA, and then Joel from Peakora side. Like when we were in touch, we got in contact with each other. What was the problem, or what were the current challenges that you were facing when we had some of these initial discussions?
Yes, yeah, we are the Swiss Startup Association, and we operate similar to us in a startup. So we were founded in 2015, but we increased the operation since 2020, and then we start to grow and go and go. Now we count on over 1,800 startups, and then our database, everything starts to be a little bit more complicated to handle with those members, but also with all the other contacts in the community. We also make some connections with, we have our investor community as well, and other stakeholders, and the whole community itself. LinkedIn, for example, our community is almost 20,000 people join us, and we have a lot of inquiries in the marketing. We are trying to connect everyone else, and then it would be easier to do it with a more organized CRM and a database that support us and help us to keep track on all these inquiries and organize ourselves in this area as well.
Okay, that's great. And so in relation to this, why were you thinking, okay, we would need some external help, and what were you thinking typically about having discussion with us?
Yeah, we are a small team, so we have a small operational team in the association. As a non-profit organization, we count on many volunteers and our board members, but the operational team, we are now 4 people, and then that's why count on the support of Peakora was essential to give us time and knowledge enough to put it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. And so indeed, so at the end, we managed to start collaborating together when it comes to improving the foundations of your CRM. Of here, your CRM was HubSpot in that particular case, still is, and also making sure that you can leverage even more some features such as managing memberships even further directly from your CRM. And so as we went through that collaboration, can you explain a bit more like what were the most important things for you that were needed to be really streamlined so that it would help you in your operations on a daily basis, not just maybe for marketing, but in general also maybe for sales, etc. So what were the most important things, and how did this implementation went when it comes to collaborating with us with Peakora?
Yeah, we have some segmentations, our members, no members, the different types of membership. So it was essential to separate them and like be able to segment them and send for example, for the marketing efforts, it's better if we can reach out to them with the correct content content that are relevant for them. And for that, we should have like a really organized and a well-structured CRM itself. And also when it comes to offer them some things or highlight for them their benefits, is always we would like to have our structure inside of HubSpot in our case well designed. So all the basics that Peakora had helped us to structure in the CRM was I think the first step we went through.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you mentioned all this segmentation, and then afterwards, when it comes to maybe a lot of data foundations, maybe like all these automations that were needed behind to make sure data was synchronized between contacts and companies, and you would always you wouldn't need to manually update some things yourself anymore, right?
Exactly. This would save us a lot of time because it's not easy to keep on track on it, and even in the startup ecosystem where things change so fast. So we need to keep track on who is the founder of this company and how many companies he is a founder of, and if he's involved in another program as well. So all this, the database that were organized by Peakora with Peakora help, and the automation as well, because they have so many touch points with us, and also in-person touch points in our events. So it's good when we have everything on track and we are able to know what are the interests, so which kind of topic, and depend on their engagement with our comms, our communications and events. We could track it through these automations as well.
Yeah, lovely, great. Another point maybe that would be interesting is that we went through together again about when it comes to some of your sales process, or how you would want to make sure that you keep track of startups that would buy a membership from you. How do you manage this membership? How do you manage upsells or renewal of memberships? And also even for using your CRM to acquire new partners, like new sponsors, which was also super important for you. What was the difference between before and after when it comes to improving that and all the setup that's been made?
Yeah, I think it's a good, impressive improvement. Before that we start from the scratch. So now we are able to really keep on track of what is going on in their life cycle stage. So we know what is going on with them, and then we are able to find the right time to approach them with new offers or new benefits. And then, it really helped us to organize ourselves, organize our process as well. Because then through this process, we had to have some discussions and go through our process. Sometimes we don't have the time to really stop and put out what is our process. And then during this collaboration with Peakora, we went through it, and it helped to the team as well to clarify for ourselves how this process is it's working.
Okay, yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, indeed, it's super important. I think that's also you mentioning the definition phase at the beginning, where you kind of review fundamentally all your sales process, and then of course, putting some extra inputs if indeed if needed when it comes to improving that and then reflecting back to your CRM. Yeah. Okay, great. Any other thing like in terms of journey speaking? What was the best outcomes, or what was like the best advantages and benefits after we were done with this initial collaboration in terms of how you were managing operations through general marketing, sales? What are some other important things that really fundamentally changed for you and improved how you operate things now?
Now we have more control and a bigger, like we can see the big picture of what is going on, how many members we have, how many partners and leads, and what kind of topics they are more interested in, and then more control, I would say. And also the automation, it's helping us to keep the database always up to date, or it can take a lot of time, and now with the implementation it saves us a lot of time.
Yeah. Okay, nice. That's great to hear. So there were some concrete outcomes where we can be really happy about. And any learnings actually that you want to share going through this collaboration? Yes.
So many, I think this whole thing about the process that helped us to structure our workflows and make save our time was really interesting to go through each step and really make sure that we are operating all the needed steps. So I think it was a good learning. Say, really take the time to go through the process, and then we can figure out how to optimize it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right, that's great. Thank you for sharing all of this. I mean, I have last question, what are your next challenges at Swiss Startup Association? Do you have some objectives, or what is it that you're reaching for in this year actually, or for the next months or quarters?
More startups and better startups. So we are also the quality. It's also important for us, to really to provide the startups with some resource that might help them to improve their conditions and improve themselves itself. So I think this is our goal for now. So grow in the numbers, but also make sure that the quality is high.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, super nice. Well, that was it on my end about exploring this collaboration we had initially. Anything you want to add as last remarks or last words?
Just thank you for the collaboration, and thank you to everyone that is hearing us.